Hello and welcome to Two Chicks Tell All. I know it's been like 4 weeks.
It's been
maybe?
a long time.
My golly,
it's been a while. Sorry, folks.
we both have been so busy between like family.
Me being out of town, I think you had been out of town too.
I hadn't been out of town, but I had family come visit.
Yeah,
because we threw like a surprise birthday party for my mom and stuff like that. So we had some family come in and we've just both been kind of busy with life too.
Yeah.
And
so
my air conditioning just went out recently too.
She's been frying. We're all roasting, but Tay-Tay's been especially roasting.
Basically, it started probably about a month ago. And okay, we're gonna bring some breaking news. Tay-Tay has a fella now.
Woohoo!
So basically my boyfriend tried to fix it at first. Like he got coil cleaner and tried to like clean the whole thing out and tried to just like drain it, and none of that was working. So he lives out of town. So I basically had to like, kind of wait on things, and he, had tried to fix it a few times, but it wasn't working. So I had a heating and cooling place come in, and they told me that I had a leak in my system and I would have to replace the evaporator coil. But I really looked at the grand scheme of things, and I'm like, what if I replace the evaporator coil and then something else goes out?
Right, yeah, it's like
and I'm putting
trickle effect.
I'm putting in like way more money into this than I want to, and like the HVAC unit is already most likely like 15 years old or so, because whenever I bought the condo, it was like an old unit. Like it's so old that they don't even make this type of unit anymore.
Oh, wow.
Like it's an R22 and that's not really like made anymore. So they have, I guess, like different ones that like match up to that now. So yeah, it's been a journey trying to like find an affordable way to do it, but I'll be getting one this weekend. So
yeah.
So thank God. Yeah, because I've been crashing at my mama's house for the past week, and I crashed I crashed at her house like a couple of times a couple weeks ago too. So thanks, Mom.
Right.
For letting me invade your space for a little bit so I could have air conditioning. I appreciate it. So yeah, it's just been kind of crazy over here. But yeah, it's your girl Tay-Tay here.
And Cece.
We forgot to do our literal introduction because I got into talking. You know how that is. So yeah, is there any new updates with you that you would like to share before we get started?
No, not really. It's just been like, my work's been kind of stressful. So I had actually some folks got hired kind of to help out, which is a good thing. And I've been having to train them and all. So it's been a little like it's not fun remotely trying to train people. Let's just say that, especially when you work two systems. So a little bit of a dilemma and a little bit of just like literally getting up at 7 a.m. and working. My hours are usually like 9 to 5. So working a little over and everything. So yeah, it's just been kind of busy, but
it's hard to train people, I feel like, in person. So
right,
it would be even harder to do it remote. So I understand.
So and what I do is not really, it's a little complex, I will say. So
yeah,
it's not like simple enough, I always say every little situation is a different situation. So things, you look at it the same way, but it can be different outcomes of how you have to do things more or less. So anyway, it's just been a little but and it's been so hot. So yeah. So a little funny story though. I got me a little pool from my little deck. And it's like one of these hard side pools, like you just pop up because my sorry ass is not going to get out there and blow up a pool. It's been so hot. And so finally I was like,
blame you, girl.
So, but long story short, when the draining of this pool got a little, let's say, sticky, because like the way this house is, it's like a deck. And then, so, the up under the deck, well, it's not really like it's lower, I guess, in the sense. Anyway, like when I tried to drain the water out, it kind of came back, and the deck's not built much off the ground. Let's say that's just not like it's a high deck. It's low to the ground. So anyway, that was like an ordeal, and I was having to slowly try to get this water out. So then I leave and go out Saturday night, and we get all these massive storms, like lots of rain.
Well,
like,
we are in hurricane season as
and
well.
it was
so
like pouring.
That would explain it.
So I get home and I walk out there, and that thing is like slam ass full. Like I'm talking to the rim, like it's up there, and it's 8 foot wide, so it's pretty wide. It's like 1.5 foot deep, maybe, I guess. So yeah, I had to deal with the whole dilemma of how to get the pool drained without it basically going under the deck, trying to divert it into the yard. But then this ground gets so saturated. So,
I know, right?
So then when I managed to finally divert it to go into the grass, like it seriously starts like puddling up. Like you would have thought it like rained a big rainstorm, and all of a sudden there's this big lake almost. And it was puddling up between the fence line to where my neighbor is, because we're kind of close together, obviously. So then I'm wigging, thinking, oh my gosh, this guy's going to be like looking out there going, what the hell's going on? Like, why is there all of a sudden a flood in my backyard? And, so it was, let's just say, I got it down. I got everything dried out. It dried out under the house, and just in time for it to get more rainstorms last night. I believe it was last night or whatever. And then
it did.
And now,
storm last night.
And now there's more water under the deck. So luckily, I know it's just not in the sense of, I felt bad when that happened, but now I know, which I've already kind of told my landlord, I think it has some issues with the drainage on the gutters are extremely full. Anyway, the luxury of renting and not owning, where you can call your landlord and say, dude, I think you might want to check this. But
I wish I could call my landlord.
I know,
like,
2 days ago.
Fix my HVAC, please.
That's right. I know. I do. Like I said, home ownership is a good thing. But when, you have a major expense and something to have to fix, it surely does suck. But anyway, so yeah, that was my little pool dilemma.
So, as always, as you come in, pop in and say hi so we know who's here.
Oh, my lizard dilemma. That's been interesting. My pet lizard that I have, my little green guy.
Yeah.
He decided,
Buddy.
Buddy. So I went home to Columbia for the 4th the whole week. And he got real like antsy then. He like wouldn't eat or whatever. So he comes back. Well, then we were trying to, my aunt and I, because we're just crazy. And we were trying to trap him flies and everything. And so we got him a fly or two, and he ate the fly. So then after that, he stops eating the worms and won't eat the worms. And he literally goes a week with like not eating, which is not good. He got skinny. So then now my ass is having to trap him flies every day to put in his cage to feed him. And he eats them. I mean, he has to. It's funny. It's almost like funny watching him because they fly around so fast.
Yeah.
And it has to get to the point where they're almost like right in front of him, or to the point where he has his tongue. He doesn't have a very long tongue, but it sticks out just a little bit enough. I think they have something tacky on the tongue.
Yeah.
And that helps kind of the fly stick to their tongue. So it is kind of cool to watch him actually trap them and eat them. But yeah, now he looks great. It's looking good again. But holy crap, he goes up and down, and then he wakes me out because I get all worried, like, oh God, buddy, what now?
I know, right? So I'm going to take a second and say hello because we had a couple people pop in. The Crafty Visage is here, aka Dawn. Love her. Chris is in the house, aka Animal Lover. He says, "Hey girls."
Hello.
Hey Chris. Yeah. So I guess we can get started kind of like on our topics.
Some racy topics.
So
forewarning you.
So it has been a while since we've kind of done, is it like an unhinged?
More or less, I would say.
Yeah, like an unhinged topic. Like we used to get into like some crazy stuff like whenever we first started out,
our
like
podcast,
Two Chicks Tell All. We used to get into like some crazy topics.
Like it was based literally on relationships and dating, kind of more or less like in today's world or whatever.
So
all the topics we covered related to like dating, relationships, sex. I mean, and we got into some really basic topics.
Yeah.
Like, so if you ever want to go back and listen to some of the ones in the beginning.
We talked about sex parties,
polygamy.
Oh yeah, like we were pretty unhinged like there for a minute.
Yeah. So we're going back to our old self again.
And then we kind of calmed it down and we were talking about like true crime and like holidays and stuff like that. Yeah, we decided to kind of like branch out on our brand because we want to reach like a wider audience.
Well, we wanted to be able to like cover more than
Yeah.
just the dating and relationship.
So we kind of just, switched it up a little bit there for a minute, but we're back to another unhinged topic
That
tonight.
we are, yes.
So tonight's topics are the big O, aka orgasm.
That's right.
And the independent woman and why some men are useless nowadays.
Right, yeah.
Because I got some stories to tell. And I'm not saying all men are useless, because not all men are useless.
Yeah, we don't want to really.
My boyfriend is actually not useless. He's one of the few that, still has it together,
And the bulk of the ones I've been with were pretty much decent enough, because if they were pretty much useless, then it wasn't anything I wanted to keep around. So.
Right? Exactly.
No thanks.
Okay, so I think we'll get into just like the independent woman topic first.
Yeah.
We're going to kind of do things a little bit backwards than I have listed, but it's all good.
Which I think, in the sense of that, if you look at how things have evolved over time,
yes,
it's a different era, how things, like when my mother, who's now deceased, but like in their time growing up, it was like the woman wasn't so independent because she relied on the man. The man was the breadwinner. He was the one going out and getting the job.
The wife was like the homemaker, and
she was the homemaker. Yeah, raising
took care of the children,
raising the kids. And so, and my mother actually, once I was born, she ended up not working and didn't start really a part-time job until I was pretty much like in, I think, elementary school or thereabouts. But when we were in that young age, she did stay at home.
Yeah, that was how my mom was too. Like, she didn't start working part-time again, I think, until my brother was young. And me and my brother are like 4 years apart, roughly, if you want to get like a timeline together. But she didn't start working until my brother was pretty much like in school. So that's whenever she started working part-time. Like, she got a part-time job at night, and then my dad would like stay home with us.
Yeah.
So
like always somebody there with the kids. Yeah.
So like that's how that kind of worked, But I don't know. I feel like men are so different in today's society. And I don't know if it's because of how they're raised, or if it's because they aren't really given that like push and motivation that they need sometimes. But I feel like, unfortunately, just like a lot of men just don't have like the drive or even like the manners nowadays. Like, case in point, so 2 stories, and they both happened at work. So I'll just say, I work in a hardware store. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say where I work or anything like that, because I know how the internet can be. But I work at a hardware store, so I'm primarily around males all day, which is fine. Like, a lot of the males that come in there are like decent guys. Like, they're well-mannered, and like all that stuff. Like, they don't usually give me problems. Well, there's a couple of them that give me problems here and there. So a customer had left a box of nails. It was like a small box of nails at my register. Well, I guess I wasn't paying attention that it was like breaking through the bag. Well, the box of nails broke through the bag and landed on the floor. So there was like this one guy who, is always checking me out at work and, thinks he's hot shit and all that, and he was standing right there. Well, he didn't say nothing like, hey, do you need help picking that up? Let me help you. Like, he didn't have to help me. I wasn't saying that he had to help me, but it would just be nice, if you're literally seeing what's going on, if he would have just like offered to be like, hey, I'll help you pick those nails up.
Right.
But no, he didn't. So it was just like, it kind of bothered me. I mean, maybe he was trying to check me out. I don't know. That's probably what he was doing. But this guy had legitimately no manners whatsoever. And this is a guy who thinks he's the shit. And I'm just like, you legitimately are not the shit. Go sit down. Right. But he literally just like watched as I picked up like all these nails and put them back in the box and then put the bag off to the side. So there's my first case in point as to why I think some men are useless nowadays, which I know that's a bold statement, and I'm sorry. I'm not saying all men are useless. There's, there are decent men out there, but I feel like a lot of men nowadays just don't have, their respect isn't there, I feel like sometimes, and it's really quite bothersome. So that was my first story. So my second story today, I'm waiting on a customer and he's buying some rolls of like the roofing shingles. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I don't know if y'all know anything about rolls of roofing shingles, but they're kind of big and heavy because there's like a lot going on there. They're very bulky, I guess is like the right way to say it. Well, this guy didn't put anything up on the counter or anything like that. Like I literally had to just go and scan everything, which, okay, that's fine. I do that a lot of the time. Well, I was visibly, and I'm telling you, visibly struggling to find the tag on this roll of roofing shingles. Mm-hmm. Like visibly struggling. I'm trying to lift it and move it. So I ended up lifting it and the thing dropped on my toe. And the guy didn't even after he saw I was visibly struggling, should have been like, hey, do you need help, ma'am? Or like, can I help you find that? Like that would have been like the right thing to do. Well, instead, the man says, ouch, after the thing falls on my toe. No way. I'm not kidding you. I couldn't make this shit up if I tried. But, case in point, I mean, honest to God, I feel like, knock on wood, I'm knocking on the table. Knock on wood, I have a good man right now, and he's going to be a good man, while we're together, because I have faith in him and he's already treated me well, treated me respectful and stuff like that. So, granted, I got a good one, he checks all the boxes, like we're good to go. But honestly, I feel bad for some of these females that are single out there because some of these men, are just useless. And I feel like if they could adapt a robot to take care of like our sexual needs, I feel like women would just do that instead of dating a male sometimes because, these men, some of these men nowadays, they, don't want to work and provide. They don't want to do anything to help you. They don't want to put any effort into a relationship. They don't really have like the manners, so I kind of feel bad for like single women nowadays. And, honest.
That's why I don't date, really.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I had to actually kind of fib on because Steve was like, I went out and met a friend of mine Sunday at this bar, and this guy came and sat and was talking to us, and he was, and at first I was like, okay, he wasn't a bad looking guy, I guess you could say. But I just kind of started getting a sense, like the more he talked, like, okay, this is probably, and he was like, and he's like, hey, can I take you out to dinner? Like, it was just like real, like fast. And I was going, so I was like, I'm sorry, I'm with someone, kind of thing. And all, and he was still being really persistent. Like, no lie, asked me about 2 other times, so probably a total of 3 times in the course the time he was sitting there about taking me out to dinner. And I was like, dude, I'm with somebody or anything. That doesn't mean you can't go out to dinner. Yeah, yes, it does to me. It does. I'm not like available.
Oh, he's one of those men that don't take no for an answer.
I mean, it sounds like it's just crazy around here.
Seen them.
That's why, I'm like, no thanks. It's got to be somebody kind of or sweep me off and really know that it's a different type of person.
Yeah.
Locals here are not people that you really want
to date.
me
and Cece can kind of both attest to it. Like,
sorry.
We're both like independent women. Like,
right, yeah.
I pay like $1,600 a month by myself in bills. Like,
yeah.
I need a man like what?
Right, yeah.
Like, I need a man to help me like what,
Yeah. And that was one thing my mama told me at a young age. She said, let me tell you something right now. She's like, You need to be independent. You need to not rely on a man to take care of you or provide for you. You need to be able to be on your own, pay your own bills, be on your own and all. And so, yeah, and I bought my house when I was my first house when I was like 20. I actually closed on I think it was 27th birthday is when I closed on the house. So, I was already, feeling like I was doing pretty okay,
Yeah.
and also
That is good though.
But here we are now.
I mean, like, the thing is, if I date a man and like, I get in a relationship with a guy, it's because I genuinely like them and I genuinely want this.
Right.
It's not for like a monetary gain or like somebody to take care of me.
Yeah.
It's like I'm with my boyfriend now because I really, really like him. I like his personality. We have good conversation together. We have a good time together. Like that's why I'm with him. It's not because, hey, like I need money.
Right. Yeah.
So, and I kind of made that clear from the get-go with him. So he kind of understands that, which he still, takes me out to dinner and like buys me stuff, which that's fine, but it's not like a necessary thing. And like he knows that and stuff. So, we got lots of chat going on. So let's address the chat before we get into the statistics. So yeah, Dawn, my toe doesn't hurt. I think it just kind of hurt at the moment, but it doesn't really hurt now. Dawn says, my friend had a costume diamond ring that she wore out to bars to keep most of the grubs away. Some don't care if that's a ring. If there's a ring, even worse.
Right, yeah.
There's some that just they don't care. Like they don't take marriage seriously.
Or they're going to hit on you and they have a wedding ring on. Which happened to me. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wait, aren't you married? Oh, that doesn't mean we can't have fun. I mean,
oh my, I remember that.
Yeah, the band voice dad, hot dad.
Yeah. Oh, God.
But yeah, like, okay, what? No. Yeah, no.
But yeah, Dawn said again, that's the father's fault with not raising a man. I don't think necessarily. I think it takes both parents just raising the child correctly. I wouldn't put the full blame on the father, in all honesty, because you also have to think there's some fathers that aren't in their dad's life. So it's like the mom is raising them, and the mom can raise a decent guy.
Right. Yeah.
So I would never, blame it on the father solely.
Unless they were a total asshole.
Yeah.
Let's say we're.
Dawn says it's all about the values we carry. Some people lack values. Very true, my dear.
Yeah, that is true.
Very true. And I know Chris was laughing up there. Chris, what you laughing at, dude? Laughing at us carrying on. I see you. All right. So Rotten, that's one of my friends from my other YouTube channel. Thanks for stopping by, Rotten. I haven't seen you in a while. He's a married guy, by the way, so he can give us some good input, in my opinion, or some good, information. He says a costume engagement ring. When I was younger, that would have just made me try harder. That's kind of funny. And good morning to you, Rotten. I forgot that you're overseas, so you're on a different time frame than we are right now. So good morning to you. I hope the weather is treating you okay and all of that. So, Dawn says, for males, it's their father figure that helps them learn by role modeling. Yes, I agree with that, but I don't think you can blame it solely on the father, but I understand like your opinion on that statement. Oh my, Chris says, you love the D. That's why you need us men. Well, let me just say something. So I didn't have D for about 2 years. And I was sincerely worried that I didn't like the D anymore. Like I was honestly worried that I did not like the D anymore because I hadn't gotten it.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry,
Yeah, and I was severely worried that I did not like the D anymore. And I was very, I don't know, I was just worried. I'm like, dang, I said, I don't know what's happening to me here. Sorry, allergy season. But then I got the D again and I realized I still like it, so that was good. Because I was severely worried there for a minute.
Right.
I'm like, dang, I said, I do like it. Never mind. Anyway, what were you going to say, my love?
Oh, like I seriously, and not, I guess I'm getting slightly personal. Well, really personal. But like I was with somebody who it really kind of, it was an older gentleman, and let's just say the real sense of like having sex, like, you know, the D and the P kind of thing, really didn't happen. And so, and I had been a couple, I don't know, a year or two, probably even prior, before he and I started dating, before I had. So yeah, I went this very long string there for a long time with nothing. And yeah, it kind of sucked because I'm kind of in my prime for what they say us ladies get into. But I will have to say one thing is it's like if you kind of put it out of your mind and you're not thinking about it, then it's not like you feel like you're really missing out on it. But it's when you really start thinking about it. Or I used to get to the point, this is kind of funny actually, that I'm admitting this.
Listen, this is unhinged. We're good to go.
If I was going for so long a periods like not having it, and then I would start dreaming about it, and I could literally control my dream to the point where I would know I would be like in this dream, and I would feel bad because at first I would be like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this, but then literally in my head while I'm dreaming this, I would be thinking, oh, you're just dreaming. Have at it, girl. You know what I mean? Like whatever, So yeah. So that's yeah. And some people might can relate to that. Like if you don't go without having it for a long time, do you really dream about having it? Do you have dreams where you're having it, is what I should say. Yeah. So anyway.
But yeah, we kind of just were covering all sorts of
stuff.
Sorry,
we went off
the rail a little bit. So I'm going to get into some statistics about independent women because I kind of feel like, it's important. So 59% of women are solely responsible for financial decisions in their household. So me and Cece both fall into that category.
There you go.
So 68% of women have never worked with a financial professional. I've never worked with a financial professional, so that's that. 60% of women are financially independent, and 50% say they are confident in their ability to manage their finances. Which I don't know if I can say.
I was gonna say I'm not in that category. Then
you
can count me out of that statistic.
I have some trouble with managing those finances sometimes, but I mean I don't do too bad, and I don't think you do too bad, honestly. But like
I could be doing a lot better.
I mean, yeah, I think nobody's perfect. We could all do better at what we're doing, but right. I think we're not doing completely awful, but we're not doing completely good.
Right.
Somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
So being an independent woman gives you the privacy over your own life. Got that right.
Hell yeah.
You get to pick and choose who comes into your life, and you don't have to open yourself up to anyone if you don't want to. I agree with that too.
Mm-hmm.
Being independent also means that you can find happiness on your own, and you have self-confidence and emotional independence, and can have healthy boundaries with everybody. So
totally agree.
I agree with that too. So, all right, here's for you men. Men enjoy independent women because they can make their own decisions and they are strong and secure. So there is hope for us.
Right.
So dating an independent woman can be fulfilling and rewarding, and you have to understand her and respect her needs. Which I think some men do find it hard to date an independent woman for that reason. But, because a lot of us we're very strong-willed.
Right.
And, all that type of stuff. So what do you call a woman who's independent? And I just have some different adjectives for that.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah.
Gus is trying to climb up.
Oh my gosh.
Look at the top of his cage.
He's coming out of his shell. Look at that.
Wow, that's crazy. Gus, what are you doing?
So, I have some little adjectives for independent women. So, we are bold, we are individualistic, we are liberated, we are self-contained, self-sufficient, self-supporting, unaided, and unconventional. I can agree with that. But that's kind of the statistics that I found on independent women, so I kind of thought that that was like important to share. So let's see. So Dawn says, after my divorce, I was very independent. So 9 years on my own, but the last 2 years dependent in a man. Phew, thank goodness it's a good one. Well, I mean, Dawn, I know a little bit about your personal life, and I'm not really at liberty to talk about it, but, you have a different type of situation. So I think, being a little bit dependent in a man isn't really a bad thing, if you need to, but yeah, he does sound like a really good guy from what I've heard, so I'm happy for you. So yeah, I think now we can get into the more unhinged topic, or more in depth with the unhinged topic.
Right.
So we're going to talk about the big O, aka the big orgasm. I mean, I could be making some inappropriate noises, but I decided not to.
Right.
I just decided to kind of cut that. But yeah, so I just found some different like statistics and like the origin of the first orgasm. Like I found some like different information. Oh my gosh, Gus is like sitting on you. Yeah. I've never seen him do that.
I don't know why he wanted to come out. He's never really wanted to almost climb out of his cage. I have this leopard gecko named Gus, and he really doesn't come out until mostly really after sun goes down. So it's still kind of a little light here. So he literally was climbing up on his fake plant because I fed him a little while ago. He was out. So, and yeah, he just apparently wanted to damn come out. So he's out sitting on my shoulder.
There we go. So I'm going to do a little bit of statistics right now about like orgasms. So, yes, Dawn, we are in the same room. We're sitting on her couch. This is our studio. Our studio is Cece's living room.
Right, exactly.
Like, we ain't gonna lie. So, that's how it is.
Hey, we have our dinner, we eat, and then we get on and chat. So it works out.
Yeah, it does work out. So, Dawn says, I never realized. LOL. Oh, yeah. We do. Yeah, we're very real. Like, we don't like fake anything. Like,
Yeah.
This is how it is. We sit in Cece's living room on her couch and we bullshit back and forth, and that's Two Chicks Tell All.
There you go. We're true to our name.
Oh, we're very like authentic and true to ourselves. I think like we don't really, try to be somebody else. Like we are who we are. Like that's how I say it. So now some statistics on orgasms. So 50% of women can't orgasm. What a shame.
Right.
75% can't orgasm from penetration alone. So there's that, which I'm going to get into how else they can orgasm here in a minute. So in a study of 2,000 women, 30% reached orgasm during intercourse. 12% rarely reached an orgasm. 19% only reached orgasm if their clit was stimulated. And 29% reported never orgasming. Is that the right word?
Right.
Orgasming during intercourse under any circumstance.
Dang.
That's rough. That's all I got to say.
Right.
So there is such a thing as female orgasmic disorder, which that's like women, that have trouble getting an orgasm. There is such a thing.
That would suck.
Which I didn't actually know that there was such a thing until I started doing my research. And then I'm like, there is such a thing.
Right.
So we're going to touch a little bit on that. So female orgasmic disorder is characterized by persistent or recurrent delay in or in the absence of an orgasm following sexual arousal and adequate sexual stimulation. So I feel like that would suck if like you're stimulated and you're like,
right,
your engine's all revved up and then like you can't orgasm. Like
right,
I feel like that would
the
be
build up and then nothing.
I know, right? Like
that would suck.
That would suck. So in order to diagnose this, the female must cause marked distress or interpersonal difficulty. So, they have to, have distress or interpersonal difficulty. So I guess there must be like some sort of like psychological exam. It sounds like psychological, and then probably like a gyno exam for it too, I would think, or something like that. Okay, so treatment of this disorder can include education and psychosocial interventions. No medications have been proven to treat this disease, which, I mean, I can kind of see that. I don't know what type of medicine would.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think a medicine can fix that, unfortunately.
But yeah, I don't think a medicine would help you out.
No, not at all.
So let's see, because I found.
I bet you could have plenty of guys that would be like, "Hey, well, I'll sign up for that study to see if I can make you have one." You know what I mean? Like, would that not be hilarious?
It would be hilarious.
I mean, I guess that would be the only way to, study that would be like, could you just have dudes try different things? I don't know. Okay, no, that's got me thinking.
I know. I'm thinking about that too. Like how, like what the psychosocial study for that is.
Exactly.
Yeah. Does any?
I want to know.
Do we have any?
I'll take that study. I'll just act like I do have that problem. Yeah, I have this problem, and I want to sign up for this study.
I know. Like, do we have any like nurse viewers out there, or doctors, or like gynecologists, or like female studies out there that could help us out with that question?
Gosh, you need to close your ears. You heard
like
some bad stuff.
Like, what type of psychosocial like tests do they run to determine if you have a female orgasmic disorder? We
want to know.
Yeah.
Interesting minds want to know.
Yes, they do. So real quick, Rotten says geckos are mostly nocturnal. They're everywhere here at night, which he's in the Philippines.
Oh yeah.
So he's overseas in the Philippines, and he said that they're everywhere here at night. And then Dawn just says, "Aw, LOL." And yeah, I mean that's kind of my thoughts too, Dawn. So I'm going to get a little bit, I guess, into like the history of the first orgasm. So, because I like to have a little bit of science behind my research, if I can find any. Because I kind of like to.
is good in her research.
I like to cover it.
She's, as you can tell, she's like taking over tonight because I had nothing. Because, of course, I was not prepared, as I'm usually the one that's not. But see, she's always got me covered. She's always got material. So.
I just, I like to cover it from like all angles.
Yeah,
like the social, the science,
right there. You go.
The history, the statistics. You're gonna hear it all from me because I tell all.
So good.
I tell all. Dawn says sex and science, pretty much.
Right.
I mean, sex is science. I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
In a way. I mean, if you look back to like the history behind sex, which we actually did a podcast on the history of sex. I think
that was one of our first couple episodes that we did that one on too.
So we did the history of sex on one of our like first unhinged episodes. So you'll have to go check that out, Dawn. It was pretty interesting. Okay. Oh, Christina's here. Christina's my friend from a different community, so I'm glad that she showed up. Hi, Christina.
You're getting in on the juicy part.
Oh, you're getting in on the real juicy stuff. You're going to have to go back and listen to the replay, though, too, because we've been on here for a minute. But, yeah, I'm glad that you're here, though. I'm glad that you stopped in. I'm glad to see, like, different people popping in and saying hey. So that makes me feel good. So Christina said, "Oh, mercy, I just found you, my beautiful baby girl." Aw. She's like my mom in the other community, pretty much. Like she's like one of my YouTube moms, I feel like. And Donna K's here. Hi, Donna K. Good to see you.
Hey, Donna.
So, yeah. So I'm glad to see you guys that are from like the other sector. Like I'm glad that you guys made your way over here. And I think Laura said that she was going to be listening. She's in another sector that I follow, but she said she was going to be listening because I know that she had some stuff going on today. So she might pop in. So that would be funny. So if you see a Slenda Gully pop in, that's my friend Laura. So she might pop in and say hey at some point. So anyway, the science behind the orgasm. Here we go. In males, orgasm is invariably required for ejaculation and transfer of sperm. Researchers noted in a piece published recently in the Journal of Experimental Zoology. But in females, its function is unclear. So,
hey, it's just gotta happen.
I know, right? You just listen. You just gotta release it sometimes.
Yes,
you just gotta release the beast sometimes. I hate to tell you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Christina. Christina says, "Oh, you make me proud." Oh, I'm so Oh, you're gonna be proud after you hear this unhinged podcast.
There you
go. So Mihaila Pavlicek, I'm guessing that I don't know where she's from, but she was a researcher at Cincinnati Children's Hospital Medical Center, and Gunter Wagner, a professor of ecology and evolutionary biology at Yale University. They were the ones who kind of did that research on the orgasm. So in women, the orgasm does not contribute to reproductive success and accompanies intercourse only unreliably, they said. So what gives? The researchers examined many species of mammals and proposed that orgasm in women evolved from an ancient trait that once played a key role in reproduction. So to discover the Big O's reason for being, the researchers explored its underlying physiology and focused on the hormonal surge that women experience while in the throes of passion.
That's right.
I mean, that's kind of, when it's going good, that's what happens.
That's right. That's right.
So keeping this foremost in mind, Pavlicek and Wagner then looked at other mammals. Despite the enormous diversity of reproductive styles, they were able to identify core characteristics of reproduction, and they track how these features evolved. So that's pretty interesting. So last night I was hanging out with my mom, of all people, and me and my mom, we have like a pretty decent relationship where like we can talk about anything.
Oh yeah. Best thing to happen.
So I told her, what tonight's podcast is going to be on, and she's going to listen to the replay later, so she'll hear all this. So hi, Mom. So my mom wanted to know, like, what's the percentage of women who fake an orgasm? Which that's an interesting question. I kind of want to know, like, how many women out there are faking it, or faking this fashion. What am I saying? They're faking the passion.
Yeah.
That's what I meant, but I think it kind of all ran together. I apologize. So how many women fake passion? Let's see. So the mystery of the faked orgasm is no trivial issue. Research suggests that up to 80% of women fake the Big O.
Dang,
that's a lot of women be faking it out there.
Well, I mean, I think I fall in that category, because I'm not going to lie in the sense to say I've never not faked one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's not something I do all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And definitely, not faked as many as I, would say
Right.
I've faked far less between than I
Yeah,
have
I don't.
faked.
I
But
haven't really faked any. I'll be honest, but
well, in
yeah,
the sense of like the ones, it's just like where the guy's like so trying to make you, and you're to the point of being over and going, okay, nope, it's not going to happen.
that
Like
reminds
when
me.
you kind of realize there's just no way possible.
That
You're
reminds
just
me
like,
of.
okay, well, let me just make it seem like it does, so he'll just like be done.
That reminds me of last summer whenever you hooked up with that guy.
Right? Yeah, I did tap out on that one.
She tapped out.
I tapped out.
So Dawn says, I feel like this is an adult version of Magic School Bus. So informative. I need to put that comment up because that's a good one. Okay. Because I can put up comments and showcase them.
Oh, that's great.
I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
I think that if we make it big and like people start, writing reviews and they have to like talk about what we're like, that's like a perfect thing because, we are informative and we try to be,
Yeah.
But sometimes we just talk about some really unhinged stuff sometimes.
Right.
I'll be honest, like we're a little bit, off the chain at times, but I think you can be, to a certain extent. I mean, we don't like swear and say like mother effer this and
no, we
this that
don't do that.
No, like we don't swear and stuff, but like a lot of some of the topics that we have done have been very unhinged though. And I think tonight's one of the unhinged type of episodes. But I think what we were talking about this a couple weeks ago about doing this, talking about orgasms, because I know that like we've touched on it briefly, like in pieces, like in our other podcasts, but we've never really done like a full in-depth kind of like podcast about it. So
yeah,
that's why we kind of wanted to do that. And then like the independent woman stuff, I thought about that this week whenever I had my little situations at work. So I was just like, I feel like we should cover that because, part of Two Chicks Tell All, we are like women supporting women. Like we try to empower one another and stuff like that. Yeah. So I feel like it's important to kind of talk about like that aspect of it too.
Buddy's interested. Look, looks like he's looking at you.
Hi, buddy.
Gus. Sorry, I think he likes Tay-Tay's voice.
Yeah, he likes to listen to me talk.
Yeah.
Oh, Dawn said, I want to put up Dawn's other comment too, because she said that we're properly unhinged.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like we're completely inappropriate, but we're not like completely appropriate.
We're just telling it like we say. We're trying to stay true to what our cast is, as that we tell all. So we're just trying to tell all and be genuine in our telling all.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, so I think that's about all for like those topics because I think I've covered it. Did you want to add anything else?
I was gonna say, I wonder how many casts we've done now. We'll have to go back and look.
Yeah,
how many episodes we've actually done.
I know that there for a while we were banging them out like
we did
like cray.
Yeah. But
I know that life has kind of caught us both up with like real life stuff, and
we'll get back on track.
Yes, definitely. And we're gonna be still taking ideas. So I know that Dawn had told me that she had a crazy idea for a podcast. So Dawn, if you want to message me on Facebook later and kind of let me know what that idea was, and then I can bounce it off Cece and we can talk about it because, we're up to listening to what you guys have to say and like what you guys want to hear. So, it's a gift. It took me a long time to learn proper, LOL, is what Dawn said. I agree with that. So Christina also said, well, why not tell it all? I feel like we should tell it all.
Right? That's what we're here for.
Yeah, I know, right? So, yeah. I'm glad that my AC is getting fixed this weekend because I want to be back in my house. I mean, I like crashing at my mom's. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
I love it. I love, my mom making breakfast for me every morning and helping me do laundry. Like, that's all good and well. Like, I love it. But, I want my privacy back. So
Yeah, get me back in my house.
yeah, so that's basically that. But it's all good. I really do appreciate my mom because she, does a lot for me. Like she helped me with the whole AC situation, and she's let me crash at her house and stuff like that. So I really do appreciate my mom. And I think we should all appreciate our mom because they go through a lot to deal with us.
I know, right? Yeah.
So I feel like we should all appreciate our mom for all that they do for us.
Yeah, because I don't have mine anymore. So I'm telling you, once they're gone, you know, you don't have them anymore. It's pretty rough. So you definitely appreciate, love on them, and spend time with them while you got them here.
Right. So I think that's about all we have. I don't know what our next podcast is going to be about. We've kind of been like flying out on a whim with this stuff.
Exactly. And it works out.
And it works out great. Yeah. So,
because we feel like if you like us enough, you're going to tune in to see what we got to say anyway, no matter what it might be about.
Yeah. I mean, we could be talking about like some boring shit, and I think you guys would still be here.
Right.
Oh yeah, Christina says I miss I love my mama so much. Yeah, I love mine too. But yeah, so not like I said, not sure what next week's topic is going to be about, but we'll be here regardless because we're trying to get back into the swing of things here. So it's just been so hot lately here too that like I feel like
a lot of people are baking across this world. I think with these temperatures, it's been so bad, and ours are getting worse. Like towards the end of the week, we're going to be at our hottest coming up these next like 3 days, 4 days that we've been. So we're still going to be hitting records again.
Yeah. So, and I think it's bad whenever they say, oh, it's 80 degrees, but it feels like 100. I think that's even worse whenever it's like that. Because,
right. Yeah. That heat index has gotten so bad.
Heat index is really bad.
I think we're going to be up to like 107 by the weekend with the heat index. So temperatures like, 99, 100, but it's going to feel like 107.
Well, I'm going to be glad to have that air conditioner.
Right.
I'm going to be glad to have that AC in, that's for sure. Which... I did have a portable AC. So my boyfriend went out and bought me a portable AC. And it was working there for a while. It was kind of cooling the place down. Not completely, but like cooling it down enough to where I could stay there. Well, I live on the 3rd floor. And we had to hook a hose up to the to the portable AC so it could drain out. Well, it was causing so much water because of how humid it was in there that it was completely like saturating my balcony. And then it was causing water to kind of go out off of my balcony. So it was getting to the point where I did have neighbors who were, complaining to me. But like I explained to them, what was going on. And then, we talked about it and it was fine, They didn't know what was going on. So, and understand like where it was coming from. So that's why, they were confused, but, it was making my deck or my balcony like a mess. So I had to just like stop using the portable AC because I was afraid that it was going to like cause some water damage or something.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't need water damage right now. So let's shut this thing off. And that's whenever, my mom was like, you can come stay with me until you get your AC situation figured out, which I had talked to a few places and, kind of explored my options. And then I finally had decided on an option. So that was good. An option that was going to be probably the most affordable, which is not really an affordable thing, unfortunately. Like AC units are expensive whenever they do go out.
Right. Yeah.
But, I had to find the one that was going to be most affordable for me. So I ended up finding that. So, yeah, I think that's about it. Do you have anything else you want to add?
I don't think so. I think that's it.
All right. So we had a great time tonight being unhinged because we haven't done that in a while. So we hope that y'all enjoyed it. It was good to see some new people here. You know, we love all of our old viewers, and we also love the new people that come rolling in. So we really appreciate you guys being here and supporting us and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And, you know, send us emails if you would like, twochickstellall@gmail.com. Spelled exactly like the little, you know, emblem that we have on our StreamYard. So, you know, send us an email if you would like. We love corresponding with y'all, and we definitely love doing these like live podcasts because I think it's fun to cut up with y'all and laugh. So,
Right.
So we enjoy that. So this is your girl Tay Tay signing off.
And Cece.
And we hope y'all have a good week.
Bye. Peace out.
Bye.